the first thing that I want to bring up is discrimination. And we see all the unrest that we're just coming across, and it's not getting better. Race discrimination has to do with race, and
Right.
and right now we're at a place where you think it would be going forward, especially with everything with Martin Luther King, everything that he stood for and fought for, equal rights, justice. Muhammad Ali, another great example. But as years go on, and it's like history repeating itself over and over and over, it's like one of the recent questions to myself, and I will ask you is this something that is ever going to go away and get better in any form?
Right. So, I'll start off by saying that, obviously I'm an openly gay man. And so when we talk about discrimination, and I know right now we're talking about race discrimination because of systemic racism that has been there. I think as a society that there's always been discrimination towards a minority group.
So tell me how that experience was for you, be part of such a popular sequel now and to portray Agent Stone.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. I mean, the movie's doing so well. People love it. I think it speaks to so many people wanting, movies about love and friendship and action and fun. And I think it's a very, very positive film and something the world really needs right now.
And another thing is also locking it down to where the Phoenix Suns couldn't even go for those rebounds, secure those rebounds, which were very important. And we saw how many second chance points were missed from the Phoenix Suns.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's, I think there were two things that really happened. And one was they pressured Chris Paul completely up and down the court, right? From the time the ball came in bounds, Chris Paul had someone in his face.
With how way we've seen Dallas, like, I will say that I'm a little bit worried for the Phoenix Suns. I don't know that they will go ahead and have such an easy win as we've seen with the team going to Dallas, losing those two games against Dallas. And I think we will see a game 7. I don't want to see a game 7. I don't, we know how those games are, but for the Phoenix Suns, that scares me to death, Sean.
They say the playoffs never get interesting until someone loses on their home court. And right now they're both hurling serve.
I'm disappointed. Like you mentioned, I think free agency would have been the stronger suit for them to go ahead and fulfill their needs. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. They let go a lot of great players that you just mentioned that could have, re-signed. Chandler Jones is the big hit, I believe, for the Arizona Cardinals. And I don't know that they'll be able to go ahead and recuperate from that. And then from here is this, after all of these changes and what the Arizona Cardinals have done and seeing the results of last season and the last couple of seasons, will they be able to contend? Will they go ahead and be able to go ahead and go deep into the playoffs, given the entire situation and dynamics during the offseason with the whole Kyler Murray? We've had, AJ Green kind of make a little bit of a comment with regards to that relationship as well. We have JJ Watt, veteran. He needs help, like you mentioned. Hopkins needs, a second man in line. So where do we see the Cardinals here during not only the regular season, but do we even see them in the playoffs?
Well, I tell you what, the first thing we have to solve, Joanna, you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned it, was our situation with Kyler Murray.
Devin Booker hasn't played for almost 2 weeks, give or take a few days. So going in here, Devin Booker is not going to be full on Devin Booker. I know he's going to want to be, but is he really going to be that? Probably not. So the other thing, which was with last night's victory for the Phoenix Suns, was the game plan, that strategy that Monty Williams introduced, which was Bismack Biyombo and Aaron Holiday. Go ahead and bringing them off the bench and go ahead and making that rotation between DeAndre and Jabal McGee, including Bismack Biyombo in there. And then also throwing a little bit, Jay Crowder into the paint. So that having those combinations, which is something I had mentioned, and I believe that he should have done that from the beginning of the series and even before the playoffs, to go ahead and so they wouldn't be in this situation and get more of that communication and kind of smooth any kinks out that needed to be when it would come time for that.
Exacto.
Bueno, y antes de hablar del hockey sobre hielo, te tengo una última pregunta acerca del fútbol americano y quiero tu opinión sobre el regreso de Tom Brady, porque dijo, mejor no me retiro, mejor voy a seguir jugando fútbol americano y allá salió la decisión. Entonces, cuéntame tu opinión en eso.
Oye, y pues primero que nada, este cuate, pues, qué invencible es. O sea, digo, 45 años y todavía juega y juega un buen nivel. No dijeras tú, no, es que ya está viejito, ya nada más es por... No, aún hace diferencia, ¿no? Tener a Tom Brady en el equipo.
Con esta plática que estamos teniendo, solo se me hace correcto preguntar y venirme al local aquí a Phoenix, en Arizona, sobre los Cardenales de Arizona. Ya sabes a dónde voy, que viene siendo Kyler Murray. Y esa situación, pues el gerente general ya descartó de que no va a ser intercambiado, se queda con el equipo, pero es uno de esos jugadores que mencionamos, de joven, entrando a la franquicia, y pues ahí tiene esa presión de ser efectivo, de ganar partidos, y como los hemos visto para los Cardenales, ganan, son efectivos la primera parte de la temporada, pero después caen en esa segunda parte y luego batallan en la postemporada o no entran. Entonces, en esta situación que están los Cardenales y luego también hay bastantes huecos que tienen también que llenar. ¿Cómo los ves tú con toda la dinámica que están ahorita experimentando, pues sí, que le está sucediendo, lo que se les viene adelante esta temporada 2022-23?
Lo más difícil para un entrenador, para un gerente general, es no solamente el libreto, poner las jugadas, poner las piezas, seleccionar los jugadores, pero también mantenerlos contentos, especialmente cuando hablamos de un mariscal de campo.